Arjuna's confusion and dilemmas and final mental breakdown. That's what we saw, and Krishna's response to Arjuna's questions. Arjuna asked Krishna to teach him that he is ready to learn. He is ready to learn about greater values of life. So far he has been pursuing wealth and power and fame. And now he realizes the futility or the limitations of those goals. You may or may not realize those goals in life, but in both, whether you are successful or failure in realizing those goals, in both conditions, human beings remain inwardly unhappy and inwardly discontent. So that was the problem which Arjuna posed in the battlefield of Kurukshetra. And Krishna's advice, first advice was to Arjuna was to relax. Don't get panic and stressed out. Just relax. Because every problem has a solution. In fact, every problem comes with its own solution. But you have to look hard. Look with a quite balanced mind. So then you will see that problems can become opportunities. So Krishna said that wise people, they don't grieve over anything. Grieve over what they have and what they don't have. Grieve over the dead and the dying. Grieve over failure and the misfortunes. Wise people, they always keep their mind balanced on a positive note. They always think that there is some good news around the corner. So we have to wait. So Krishna's proposition was, if you keep your mind quiet, balanced, when you face a challenge, a problem, that's a condition. You must be involved in the world. Don't run away from the world. Be in the world and look into the eye of the problem. Meaning face the problem with a quiet mind, and it is in such conditions that the spirit awakens. There is no other way of awakening the spirit. To awaken the spirit means to dynamically live in this world with a balanced, quiet, reflective, thoughtful mind. That's the way to awaken the spirit. Because mind is the means of awakening the spirit. And activity also is the means of realizing your full potential. So two points which we discussed last time, that don't grieve over anything. Whether it's a personal tragedy or a public tragedy, don't grieve over anything. First advice. And second advice, when you keep your mind in such a state, the spirit awakens. So wait for the spirit to awaken. And the spirit is the source of infinite energy, power, and intelligent solutions to our problems. So the spirit is ultimate library, reference point, ultimate source from where you can invoke everything. So spirit, we have seen last time, manifest as health, intelligence, energy, love, compassion. This is how you experience the spirit or God in your life. So Krishna said that none of us actually die. We are immortal. So that's from the spiritual standpoint, we are immortal. We are deathless. Meaning that immortal, that word refers to the consciousness dimension in all of us. From the physical standpoint, we all will die. However, you may try to prolong your life on this planet, physical life, by eating a lot of nutrients and healthy food and all that, you may be able to live for another 50 years or 100 years. But after 100 years, or after 50 years, you have to die. So physically we will die. But spiritually we don't die. That's the idea Krishna proposes here. So, and that when Krishna says we, he includes himself, Arjuna who is whose chariot he is driving, and he also includes Bhishma and Drona who is fighting on the other side, and then he includes even Duryodhana in that category. Duryodhana, from the spiritual standpoint, is immortal, is divine. His evil nature is only superficial. He is not spiritually, from that standpoint, he is not evil. He is evil only in contact, only in his behavior, not in his essential nature. See, because he is ignorant of his essential nature, as we all are, and he appears as evil. Otherwise, if by some way we can make him reflect, meditate, even Duryodhana will realize his spiritual nature. So, Krishna's point to us, we all are immortal. And we all have the spiritual resource in us. And our goal is to realize that spiritual nature. Having said that, in the 13th sloka of the second chapter of Bhagavad Gita, Krishna analyzes what is the philosophical analysis of what is death. Because we all are mortally afraid of death, old age, illness, loneliness. That is what we all are afraid of. So of all these various kind of fears, the most radical fear, the fundamental fear, is the fear of death. So Krishna is reflecting on what is the phenomenon called death, which we all are afraid of. We are trying to run away from death. And the more you run away, the more you run into the gaping mouth of death. You cannot run away from death, because death has spread its net very wide. Wherever you run, you will only run into the wide mouth of death. So, let us understand what death is, and that understanding may liberate you from the fear of death. That's the idea. So basically it is the fear of death which is crippling our mind. And once we are free from the fear of death, then we may be able to face the rest of our life happily, creatively. So that's the idea Krishna is discussing here. The 13th sloka, I read the sloka. Dehinosmin yatha dehe kaumaram yavvanam chara tatha dehantara praptihi dhirastatra namuhyati. Krishna says, Dhiraha tatra namuhyati. Earlier he said, Pandidaha nanishodham. So Panditya means not just bookish knowledge. Panditya means awareness of the self. When you are aware of your own self, the spiritual self, then you become a Pandit or a really enlightened person. Otherwise your knowledge is only organized ignorance. That cannot be called knowledge. It is all very well organized. You can put it up in fantastic language, very rationally. You can convince a bunch of other ignorant people, as the Bhagavad Gita, the Upanishad says, Andheneva niyamana idhanta. One blind man leading another blind person. Both will fall into the nearest ditch. So, real Panditya means the awareness of the self, the knowledge of the self. And when you know the self, your own self, then you don't grieve over anything. First idea Krishna gave to Arjuna. The second idea is Dhiraha tatra na mukhyandi. So Dhira means Dhivantaha. What was the Dhi? The thinking faculty. It is reflective thinking, not discursive thinking, not analytical thinking, but reflective thinking. Analytical thinking is the ability to crunch data, and reflective thinking is to live in the splendor of the Spirit, the power of the Spirit. That's the reflective thinking. So a person who has this reflective thinking, who understands himself or herself something other than and more than the Spirit, and more than the body, he is called Dhira. So such people, Namukhyandi, they are not deluded. Deluded about what? Deluded about their immortal nature. So, what is mortality? What is death? Krishna is analyzing here. Dehinaha. Dehi means one who lives in the Deha. Deha means body. Deha means which can be burnt down to ashes. That's the etymological meaning of Deha. This body can be burnt down to ashes. If you are a Hindu, when you leave this body, the body will be put on the funeral fire. If you are a non-Hindu, then it will be eaten by worms or vultures or wild animals. So therefore, this body which can decompose and disintegrate, go back to the five elements. The body is made up of the five elements, it will go back to the five elements. So therefore it is called a Deha. It is also called a Shariram. Shariram means it disintegrates. That which disintegrates. So Deha and Dehi. Dehi means one who lives in this house called the body. So we all are Dehis, not the Deha. Meaning we all are the embodied, not the body. So Dehi means the embodied, one who has a body. Who has a body, not the body. So what's your relationship with the body? You have to express your relationship with your body by the statement, I have a body, not I am the body. Just as I have a computer, I have a car, I have a donkey, I have a buffalo, I have a piece of furniture, I have a house, I have a pair of glasses. But you have none of this. You own them, you use them, then you discard them. When you discard them, you feel no remorse. You don't feel any remorse because they are no more useful. Therefore, you just discard. Similarly, when the body is no more useful, you are not able to hear or read or constant ache and pains, and you are not able to eat anything, and you cannot eat, what is the point in living? So when such a condition arises, then you say, let me get rid of the body. That is called death. So death is getting rid of this useless, non-responsive body. So you are simply giving it up. That's what Krishna says in this sloka. And this requires a deep meditation, contemplation. Because we are so much deeply entrenched in our identification with the body. It is very difficult to pull you out of that, your identification. It's like an Indian's attachment to their homes. They will never sell their home, never leave their home. Wherever they are in any part of the world, they always think of my home. A small hut in a God-forsaken village, but still it is my home. They always think of going back. Whereas American in that way, they are very enlightened people. They have no attachment with any home. They are ready to sell it, demolish it, go where they want to go. So they have no attachment to their home. So similarly, Krishna advocates, Krishna also had no attachment. He was born in a jail. Then he grew up with the foster parents. And he became a teenager, developed some friends. Then he left that place. He came to another city. There he did some wonderful deeds, became popular. Then he left that city, went to another city, another place. There also he built a beautiful city, his people, name and fame. Then he left that also. And finally, he perched on unknown to anybody. He climbed up a tree and perched on a branch of a tree, and he was relaxing there. He left everything. And while he was relaxing, a hunter called Jara, old age, hit him by the poisonous arrow. And Krishna left his body. Just as Krishna demonstrated in his own life that he does things wonderfully, very efficiently. He doesn't cling on to anything. So here he says, Dehi, you are the Dehi, one who lives in this Deha. You are the embodied consciousness. You are not the body. You are living in this body. So Dehi, while he is living in this body, the body undergoes various modifications. Like your house, after 10 years you have to repair the house. Things start falling off. Then one day you decide it's not worth living. So similarly, the body undergoes various modifications. What are those modifications? And you observe them. You observe that. What are the modifications? Kaumaram. First you are a baby, then you are a teenager, then you are a young man, full-fledged young man, then you are a middle-aged person, then you are 60, 70, 80, 90. I'm just looking at the Bharat Ratna awardees. Most of them are 90 years old. So, when you are 90, the body is 90, then the body has to give up. Body has to disintegrate. So he says, you are able to watch, but inside you don't feel old. You ask a 90-year-old person, are you old? You feel insulted. Inside you don't feel old. Though the whole world says you are old. But you yourself, I don't feel old. They feel young. Because that is the spirit speaking in you. That is the spirit speaking. Then you can never be old. So, yatha dehe kaumaram. These are the various stages of the body. Kaumara means childhood. Yavanam, youthhood. Jara, old age. Then, after old age, what happened to the body? The body disintegrates. Body just disintegrates. When the body disintegrates, you dehantara prapti. You move into another body. Just as you move from one house to another house. You move into another body. And how did you get the new body? While you are living in this body, you have done such deeds, and the result of that deed manifests as a new body. Just as while you are living in one city, one house, you do such things that you move to another city. So, dehantara prapti. Dehantara means another body. You move into another body. And while you are moving, while this body undergoes all these changes, there is a continuity of awareness. Memory is there. But when you move into another body, memory is not there in most of the cases. There are certain research findings where they say the newborn is able to recapture, recollect the memories from the past lives. But they are far and few. They are not yet taken as credible evidence for a rebirth and all that. So, you move into another body. Dehantara prapti. So, memory is not there. Meaning you lost your cell phone, let us say. Or your computer crashed. Do you have any memory? Everything is gone. Computer crashed. Similarly, you are not able to recollect what happened in the previous life. That's all. But as I say, absence of proof is not proof of absence. Simply because you cannot remember does not mean that it did not take place. So, a wise individual, he realizes, since I had a past, I will continue to be in the future too. So, when you leave this body, or the prospects of leaving this body, makes you very agitated. But a person who is established in this knowledge, that I had several lives, and I continue to have many, many more lives. One who is established in that knowledge, death is no more a prospect of fear. There is no fear. Death is an opportunity to move into a new house, to wear new clothes, to drive a new car, to operate a new computer. So therefore, you don't no more look at the prospects of death with the fear and anguish. You always look with the hope, and new dreams can be realized. So, dehinaha asmin dehe yatha kaumaram yavanam jara tatha dehantara prati. So, to moving to new body, dhiraha tatra namuhyati. Wise people don't fear because there is death. Death is no more a matter of fear. So what happens is we identify with the body and then we look at the spirit or outside. Spirit means outside. Our sense of outside. When you say I, the I springs from the spiritual spirit. So when you say I am old, you are referring actually to the body. You say I have an old body, that's all what you mean. Let's say I am old because I have an old car. I have a dilapidated home. Will you say, I am old because you have an old car? You won't. Similarly, by identifying with the old body, you take yourself to be old. So it is superimposing the oldness, decrepitude of the body upon the self. Like what? Like when you look up in the sky, you see the sun is moving, isn't it? Sun is born because it rises. Sun is in the middle of the sky, middle age. Then sun starts declining and sunset. So sunrise and sunset, which is equivalent to birth and death. But when sun sets, you know it will come back. You know it will come back. And if you are a physicist or an astronomer who studies all these movement of planets and all that, you understand it is not the sun which moves, it is the earth on which you sit which goes around its axis and then around the sun, which creates the experience of day and night and the experience of the one whole year which the earth takes to go round the sun. And all the solstices, Uttarayanam and Dakshinayam. All these experiences is because identified with the earth which is moving, you superimpose that the movement of the earth on the sun which is not moving, relative to the earth at least. Otherwise the whole solar system may be moving, because nothing is immobile in this world, everything is constantly moving. Body is moving in the sense body is constantly changing. This earth is moving in the sense it's going around. So everything is moving, everything is momentary or fast change. So we impose this change that of the body upon the self, and we say we are dying, we are old. It is a misnomer. It is a false understanding. And you have to correct your understanding about yourself. So, Dehinaha asmin dehe yatha kaumaram yavanam jara tatha dehandara praptihi dhiraha tatra na muhyati. That's why maybe the Indian gods are always young gods. Krishna, Rama, Shiva. You don't find an old, dilapidated Shiva. You don't find an old Anchuvak Rama or Krishna or Devi. They are all young, beautiful, and strong, healthy, smiling. Because that is what the spirit is. So all these gods represent the spirit. Since you are not able to realize your spirit within, you externalize it and you worship it. By worshipping, by constantly looking at Krishna, Shiva, you also start behaving like Krishna and Shiva. So that's a saying, Krishnam bhutva, Krishnam bhutva, Krishnam bhaje. Shivam bhutva, Shivam bhaje. As you meditate, you develop some of those qualities. The spirit is ever fresh, ever new. It never becomes old. So, dehinosmin yatha dehe kaumaram yavanam jara tatha dehandara prapti. So, dehandara prapti means death. Leaving one body and moving to another body. Like you leave this house and move to another house. Dehandara prapti dhiraha tatra na muhyati. So, there is nothing to try to run away from death. There is nothing to be scared of death. There is nothing to be afraid of death. There is something to celebrate. I mean, you don't have to be so morbid by celebrating death. But still, so death is something which is opening a new world, a new opportunities. That's what Krishna says. Then continuing, death is okay, what about pain? Some people are not afraid of death. but they're afraid of the pain involved. As the people say, take out all the life support system, give me an injection so that I just die. Because I cannot take this pain. So pain is more difficult than the prospects of death. So how do you understand pain? Krishna says pain also is psychological. We all know that if you have a toothache, they give you anesthetic and then toothache is gone, isn't it? Or give you a pill, painkiller. Pain is gone. So pain is a nervous activity. Some kind of information goes from one part of the body to another part of the body, the brain. And the brain processes the electric and chemical impulses and says, this is pain. That's it. And if you cut off those connections or you numb those connections, then there is no feeling of pain. So, according to Krishna, pain is psychological. It's mental. In deep sleep, most of the pain that you otherwise experience, you are not experiencing. Pain has 2-3 levels of pain. One is physical pain. When a sharp object is thrust into you, then there is pain. Or you hit your head against a wall, there is pain. That is physical pain. That pain is good. Suppose you put your finger in fire and there is no pain. That means something is wrong with you, isn't it? Or somebody puts a knife into your stomach and you don't feel any pain. That means something is wrong with it. So physical pain is a sign of your health. Physical pain is a warning something is going wrong. So physical pain is necessary. And we try to avoid physical pain by living in a comfortable environment where there is no threat to your physical survival. Now there is psychological pain. Psychological pain is your birthday, nobody called you on the birthday. No birthday card. Then you wonder, why should I live here? I am alone, nobody bothers about me. You feel lonely, you feel unwanted, you feel the whole world is angelus world. So you feel very bad. And that is a pain. Or somebody abuses you by verbally or otherwise, then there is a mental pain. So, or your children are not doing well, there is pain. They didn't hit you physically, they did not do well in the exam, that's it. So, but it gives you pain. So, there is a psychological pain, which is created by the ego. You know, your sense of yourself, the ego. Then there is a philosophical pain. The philosophical pain is, you see a beggar on the road, a child, 7-year-old child, good looking, 7-year-old, but full of dust and unwashed hair and shrunken eyes, cheeks, dirty, filthy, and is begging on the road. And you are coming in a Cadillac. Then you stop on the red light, and the boy comes and knocks at your door or your car and asks for something. By the time the green light comes, then you buzz off. And the child may even fall down because you are holding on to the car. At that time, there is a pang in your heart. Why there should be so much suffering in the world? Why did God create so much suffering? Why suffering at all? These kind of philosophical questions and the pain that you feel. That is called philosophical pain. That's a healthy pain. That's not bad. Physical pain also is good because it's a warning system. What we should be careful about is psychological pain. Somebody did not remember your birthday. Somebody did not salute you when you entered into the room. Or somebody said you are a stupid person, which you are. Therefore, in such circumstances, you feel immense pain. You don't sleep that day. You lose your appetite that day. You are angry with everybody. That kind of pain is very dissipating pain. So what you should be careful about is the pain which is psychological. So Krishna here analyzes how pain comes. Pain is when the mind is in association with the world. World includes the body also. When the mind in association with the body and the world, there is experience of pain. And this pain, which is a result of this association of mind with the body and the world, and the body is part of the world, that pain is psychological pain. Also, another nature of the pain is, it is momentary. It comes and goes. It's not permanent. In deep sleep, you don't have that pain. Or when you are engaged with some other interesting thing, you don't have. When you are watching your favorite serial, soap opera, you don't have that pain. It's momentary. It happens only occasionally, not all the time. It comes and goes. It's something like lines drawn in water. As you move your finger, the line also closes. So similarly here, an analysis of pain. Krishna says, Matra Sparshastu Kaundeya. The second chapter, 14th sloka. Second chapter, 14th sloka. Matra Sparshastu Kaundeya. Shidoshna Sukha Dukkhada. Shida, Ushna, Sukha, Dukkha, Labha, Nashta. These 6 pairs. 3 pairs. Shida, Ushna means heat and cold. Oh, it's very hot. Oh, it's very cold. So I am comfortable. Shida, Ushna. Then Sukha, Dukkha, pleasure and pain. Some things are pleasurable, some things are painful. And Labha and Nashta. Gain and loss. These are the 6 types of experiences which are constantly assailing you, constantly impinging on you. Isn't it? These are the content of your experience. Ultimately, what is the experience? Finally, if you analyze them, you say, oh, Mayday, I lost it, I got it, profit and loss, or heat and cold, or pleasure and pain. Ultimately, it is all pleasure and pain. Heat and cold also can be reduced to pleasure and pain. Profit and loss also can be reduced to pleasure and pain. Profit means pleasure. Loss means pain. Too much heat means pain. Too much cold, pain. If too much cold, you start shivering. The body creates its own heat. Too much hot, you start sweating. Body creates its own, brings down the temperature by sweating. So all these experiences, that's how you experience the world in terms of these pairs of experiences. Finally can be reduced to 2 experiences, pain and pleasure. Now you can again reduce pleasure into pain. Because when the bills start coming, pleasure becomes pain, isn't it? You had a nice time in Las Vegas through the credit card, and then you come back home, your bank statement says $4,000 gone, a pain. So finally, everything can be reduced to pain. That's why Buddha said, dukkam, dukkam. Wherever I see, it's all pain. I don't see anything else. To be born is painful. To grow up is painful. Marriage is painful. Having children, everything is painful. Nothing. Ultimately, everything can be reduced. What is lasting is pain. What is fleeting is pleasure. As long as the mind is active and interacting with the world, ultimate experience is pain. That's all wise people say that. Ultimately it is pain. But this pain affects only the body and the mind, not the spirit. The pain has no access to the spiritual region. Its roots end in the mind. It doesn't go beyond that. That's why when you take a painkiller, no pain. Under anesthetic, there is no pain. Deep sleep, there is no pain. When your mind is focused on something very interesting, there is no pain. Even people suffering from very bad toothache, when they see their favorite food, they forget the toothache and stuff. Because their mind is focused on something very interesting. So here Krishna says, Matra sparshastu kaunteya. Matra means the mind, another word for the mind in Sanskrit. Matra means, a literal meaning is a measure. Miyande iti matra, a measure. So mind is something like a measure, a measuring rod. It is with the mind you measure, analyze the world. Oh, he is good, he is bad, he is desirable, he is undesirable, so much tall and should not go up, deep, beautiful, ugly, all those measurements is done by the mind. Mind is a kind of measuring rod. So, mind is called matra. And the world is called sparsha. Sparsha means with the mind you touch the world. You interact with the world. The world is pouring into you through the five sense organs, and the mind is processing those sensual information and make a meaning out of what you receive through the five sense organs. Therefore, the world is called sparsha. To sparsh means to touch. Touching is not only with the hand, touching can be with the eyes, tongue, nose, all these five sense organs. It's not somebody touching on your body. Touching means the mind through the sense organs coming into contact with the world. That's the meaning of touching here. So matra, the mind, coming into contact with the world, sparsha. In their contact, you have Shida, Ushna, Sukha, Dukkha, Daha. Daha means the giver. This contact gives you this experience. And all the worldly experience, which the mind gathers, harvests through the five sense organs, can be fundamentally reduced to two, pleasure and pain. And pleasure and pain can further be reduced. Simple pain. It may look a little pessimistic, the analysis. It may look pessimistic. There is no positive note in this, isn't it? So that means everything is painful. Yes, the way we live, everything is painful. Because we are living in complete blissful ignorance of the self. In total amnesia of the self. So, matra sparshastu kaunteya shidoshna sukha dukkha. Agama apayinaha, they come and then go. Then they are momentary. They are not permanent. You experience. And then we find certain things which are pleasurable to some people are painful to other people. So people to people, the pleasure and pain concept changes. What is pleasurable is painful. What is pleasurable here is painful there. Here I find all of you wearing woolens. But in Delhi now, it is 45 degrees Celsius. 45 degrees, not even not Fahrenheit, Celsius. That means beyond 110, 115 degree Fahrenheit. So there, if you start wearing these kind of clothes, you will be roasted alive. So it's painful there. So Delhiite comes here and start wearing the same thin cotton dress, you will be shivering. What is good there, painful there, is pleasurable. So therefore, our experience of pain and pleasure changes from place to place, people to people, age to age. What was pleasurable for you in your youth is no more pleasurable for you now. Because now you are old, physically old. So Krishna says, Matra sparshastu kaundeya shidoshna sukhadukkadaha agama apayinaha. They come and go. As long as mind is in contact with the world, pain is the ultimate result. The only thing is that it's not the same pain, it comes in between you get some pleasure. And for that pleasure, we are struggling in this world. There's a beautiful story in Bhagavad. There is a person who was pushed into a deep well by his enemies. So as he was falling into the well, we all want to survive. So as he was falling, he saw a root of the tree which was growing near the well. So he caught on to that. Because when he looked down, he saw a lion and a snake there in the well. You can see that. Because if he falls, he will be directly falling into the mouth of the lion or on the snake. Both way, death is certain. So he was holding on. And then he saw a rat biting, gnawing on the root. Half cut, snap. It is very, if he shakes, he will fall down. It is at that time he saw one drop of honey falling from a flower of the tree. One drop of honey. And he knows if he make any effort that root will snap and he will fall. So he must remain there without any motion. But then he lurched for, he moved for that honey which is coming and he is trying to get it on here. In that effort. That is human life. That momentary pleasure, we are inviting lasting pain. As long as the mind is active, it is like that. So, matra sparshastu bhavdeya, shidoshna sukhadukkada, akama apayina anitya. These experiences are not lasting. So, what will I do with them? What will I do? Krishna's advice is, Tam tidikshasva bharata. You have to put up with these experiences. You have to take them in your stride. You cannot do anything. Whatever you do to improve your life, it leads to more and more new problems. There was a time we thought with the help of science and technology, with modern management techniques, we can improve human life. Create more happiness and comforts and all that. And for a long period of time, at least for 300 years, that seemed to be true. Now we are come to live in a consumerist culture with many choices. Now we realize the price that we pay for that is going to be very heavy. So therefore, what will I do? Whatever you do, you are only pushing the problem a little further. No final solution. So pain is always there, somewhere around the corner. You may push it away a little bit, but finally you will have to settle terms with that. And hence, Tan Tidikshasya Bharata, we have to develop some tidiksha, some patience, some self-discipline. Take this pain, this discomfort in your stride. That's very, very important. We all are trying to create a series of pleasurable experience. And the more you try, the more pain comes. So therefore he says, we have to learn to be patient. We have to learn to take things in our stride. We have to learn to discipline ourselves. We have to learn to live within minimal needs. Because whatever you do, it will lead to some problem. And hence, Tan Tidiksha. So Tidiksha is the key word here. Tidiksha is patience, tolerance, living within your means. Living within your means. So I was just reading an article on Moldova, yes. Part of old Yugoslavian state. They said they all are tolerably happy. So a team from US went there to study. How can they be happy? Why are we not happy? Why are they? We are sending teams now to Moldova and Bhutan to study why people are happy. Earlier we used to send a team from India to United States. Have to keep your city clean and universities going and all that. Now we are sending people there. And they found the secret of their happiness is they don't use credit cards, nor do they put their money in the banks. Whatever little money they have put under their pillow. And whatever they buy with ready cash. They don't believe in credit. They don't believe in borrowing. So they get good sleep. They live within their means. That is the simple formula for happiness. There are the developed countries. Italy, their debt is 120 times of their GDP. Here it is three times. So therefore, live within your means. It may look a little old-fashioned. That may make you a little happy. So Krishna says, Tan Tidikshasva. Live close to nature. Whatever nature brings, pain, pleasure, heat, cold, take them in your stride. So two things. One, fear of death. Second, fear of pain. Both are tackled by Krishna. And the first teaching was the absence of knowledge of the spirit. So you must know your spiritual nature. You must be free from the fear of death. And you also learn to take pain in your stride. That is psychological pain, physical pain, philosophical pain in your stride. If you can do that, then the mind becomes balanced. When the mind is balanced, next, says, Yam hina vyadhayanti te purusham purushashabha samadukha sukham dhiram so mrudatvaya kalpate. Another benefit. What do I get out of this? When I reduce my needs, live within my means, keep my mind balanced, and I'm able to take the ordinary pains and pleasures in my stride. What will I get? What will I get? Krishna says, Yam hi ede na vedayandi purusham. Yam purusham ede na vedayandi. That individual whom these don't disturb, the little pain and pleasures, success and failures, profit and loss, a little discomforts of life. These don't disturb whom? Whom these don't disturb. Such person is called Dhiram. Dhira means a hero, a courageous person. So courage means you are a depth, certain inner depth, where you can take these experiences in your stride. You are not uprooted by this, upset by this experience. Then you are a Dhira, a hero. Otherwise you are a zero. See the definition of hero. A hero is not a swashbuckling sword waving person. A hero is one who has this inner depth and inner width, let us say, because of which he is able to take these experiences in his stride. He is not easily upset. Such a person, Dhiram, yam hi na ede vedayande purusham. Dhiram is called Samadukha Sukham Dhiram. He is Samam, the same. He doesn't react. The same in pleasure and pain, in success and in pain, in heat and cold. He is the same. Nothing upsets him. He is able to stretch to the limits. He experiments with his body, experiment with his mind. When we go for the Vedantic training, they give us a lot of tests to see how you handle the body. Sometimes there is no salt in the food. Sometimes there is no sugar in the tea. Sometimes there is no tea. Sometimes there is no food. Just to see. Sometimes you may have to sleep on the floor. Sometimes there is nowhere to sleep, no place. Just to see how your body reacts to these contingencies. And if you fail in these tests, you are out. You can go and join a corporation, a big company, but not spiritual. So do they give you test for the mind? Sometimes the teacher can be very, very angry. I remember once we were studying, and so we don't get much food because in the depth of the Himalayas, Himalayan valleys, very few people come there at that time. So we generally used to eat 2 chapatis dipped in the Ganga water. That's it. That's all what we eat. And take a cold bath every day and sit and study. There is no other distraction. So one day, devotee brought a basket full of laddus. So we were very happy. At least we can eat this laddu. And young people, sweets, there is a special attraction. And so we were all waiting for the laddu, the guest to go, so that we can eat the laddu. The Guru will distribute to us, we can eat. And we are seeing laddu after 1 year. Laddu means sweet. And the guest is gone, the laddu sitting there, and we cannot eat it without the Guru's permission. Then we are out. So 3 days, 4 days, the laddu is sitting in the same place. And ants started coming and eating them. So one day I saw it full of ants. When it was full of ants, the Guru said, take it and throw it to the Ganga. Take this laddu, the whole basket, throw it to the Ganga because full of ants. He couldn't get to eat that laddu. That's the kind of discipline. So he says, these kind of tests for the mind, for the body, for the intellect. The intellect, how do they give tests? They will ask, have you seen that which cannot be seen? Have you touched that which cannot be touched? Have you heard that which cannot be heard? Now, how will your intellect understand that? If you are a rational person, that will be the last time you will attend that class, isn't it? Guru has gone mad. How can you say, have you seen that which cannot be seen? It is something like saying that, can you draw a square circle? Can you? Can you draw a square circle? If you say I can't, then you are out. If you say you can, then you can sit in. But intellectually impossible. Intellectually impossible. But spiritually, nothing is impossible. But you must have the courage to say that. You must have the daredevilry to say that. And it is possible. So these kind of tests will be given and you must survive. So what is more important is tidiksha, patience. If you don't have patience, then you cannot make much stride in the spiritual path. So he says, samadukha sukham dhiram. One who is balanced, even-minded. In all these rigmarole, all this roller coaster ride, through ups and downs of life. He saha amrudatvaya kalpade. He is fit for the immortal experience. Experience of immortality. God or the Supreme Brahman can be experienced by such people. And I can expand a little further. It is only such people who can effectively and efficiently face and creatively face the challenges of their life. Because they have access to the spirit, not just the memory. If you are operating from the memory, you will keep doing the same thing. But things are all changed, you will keep doing the same thing. But if you have access to the spirit, you can offer new solutions, new ways of dealing with things. So, yamhinam vedhayandyede. Yede means these dualities of life, the pleasure, pain, etc. Yede yamhina vedhayanti. Samadukha sukham dhiram saha amrudatvaya. He is fit for the immortal. He is fit for the spiritual awakening. He is fit for to see the face of God. Talk with God. You can live with God. If you understand God in the proper sense. There's a Swami who produces books every year. They lived with God. God lived with them. God and they lived together. And all that kind of. Because what else can you say? In this state, you are in God consciousness. And in God consciousness, you are able to live a creative, happy, healthy life. So having said that, with this, one wave of teaching is one set of teaching. So in this set of teaching, the first was, don't worry. That's very, somebody has to tell you that. Because otherwise you are worrying all the time. By yourself you can never say don't worry. Don't worry is always a piece of advice. You can advise others. So somebody has to give you that assurance. Don't worry. And when you don't worry, things start happening. That's a miracle. So don't worry, first teaching. There's plenty of reason to worry, not that there is no reason to worry. Things are not going the way you want. Actually, so things are happening exactly the opposite way. In spite of all that, you have to keep your cool, don't worry first. Secondly, face your challenges. Don't run away. Because if you run away, we have seen the problems will run behind you like your shadow. And when you face your challenges, problems, with a calm, quiet mind, the spirit will awaken. Second, third teaching. So first teaching, don't worry. Second teaching, don't run away from challenge. Third teaching is, when you keep your mind calm while you are facing the challenge, then the spirit will awake. That's the only way to awaken the spirit. There's no other way. Even chanting the mantra, doing pranayama, yogasana, all to keep the mind calm. When you keep the mind quiet, you will get answers. And the fourth teaching is, don't be afraid of death. Death is an opportunity to go into a different world, a different body-mind, a different system. And the fifth teaching is, pain is only psychological, it doesn't affect your spirit. And sometimes we see, it is by going through these painful experiences that you make yourself strong. All your wisdom comes when you go through pain. It's always pleasurable experience and there is no wisdom. So Krishna says pain is when the mind comes into contact with the world and it comes and goes, take them in your stride. And the last piece of advice was, a person who can keep his mind in that state, saha amrutatva ekapade, he becomes fit for the immortal experience. And the idea is that he has the key, the master key, to lasting success and happiness and human flourish. The master key he has, because he has access to the resources of the spirit. Now comes a little bit of Advaita philosophy. This is supposedly one of the important slokas of Bhagavad Gita, the one we are going to deal now. It defines Gita's vision, Krishna's vision of reality. What is real? What is truth? What is truth? Because all of us are seeking truth, isn't it? Scientists are seeking truth. Spiritualists are seeking truth. Religious people are seeking truth. We all want to know what truth is. But how do you define truth? Before you start the inquiry, you must have a hypothetical understanding of what truth is. Without that, if you search, you will reach nowhere. So here is a definition of truth. This sloka is a key, central, key slokas in the Bhagavad Gita, because it defines the concept of truth and untruth. What is real, what is unreal, what is true, what is untrue, what is lasting, what is fleeting, and what is the relationship between them. What is the relationship? For example, I see a man standing there. Sometimes at 12 o'clock I come out and look through this, the door or the window, and one day I saw a man standing there. I was a little scared, though I am teaching Bhagavad Gita, a little scared. What is this man doing here? And I dare not, Brian was not here, so I dare not open the door and go and see. So I put the alarm on so that if he comes here, then at least there is a safety. So I made a note. In that particular place, a man was standing. I didn't know what it was. It's not moving. Sometimes there is some movement. So I didn't bother. I didn't have the courage to go out and confront that person. And the following morning, the first thing I did was to see what was that. It was only a tree fallen, a branch fallen in the wind. There was a storm, and one branch is fallen, and that looked like a man standing there. So the fallen branch of a tree looked from a distance, looked like a human being, and creating fear and anxiety and tension. And I lost my sleep the whole night, worrying when is he coming to attack. So therefore, that experience of that man there, is it true or false? When I saw that, it is really true. It created fear in me. I thought about the building, will he come and attack? I want to remember the number, the code for putting the alarm on, all those things. The whole universe, a new universe appeared. Then I want to call Ruth, what is the number? I need that number. I dare not call her because she may think, what kind of Swami is he? He is so much scared of things. See, the human mind works. So finally I thought, let me sleep. Would I get sleep? I would. But the morning when I went and saw, I discovered not a human being. It was a broken branch of a tree. It was moving because in the storm it moves around. That gave me the impression it's being a thief or a murderer or something. So that experience, that knowledge, is it true or false? It is false. But it has a true basis. Something new has happened there, which I did not recognize as it is. So something happened which I interpreted as differently. So that my interpretation was wrong knowledge, Brahman. But there were some conditions which provoked that interpretation, which is the truth, Brahma knowledge, true knowledge. So we always pass through this right knowledge and wrong knowledge kind of situation. When you don't get the right knowledge, you always imagine and create wrong knowledge and act on that. Whether you act or whether some other person would have died because of heart attack. That can happen. Wrong knowledge can create you. That's what happened to our attack of Iraq. We thought there is weapons of mass destruction, but when we went there was nothing. Wrong knowledge. But they went on Osama bin Laden, but that was the right knowledge. Though there was only 60% chance. 60% in the council they discussed. Only Obama was for going there. Gates were against it. Biden was against it. Hillary Clinton was against it. Only Obama. Maybe a few more military people. So there are two opinions about it. So certainty was only 60%. They went. He happened to be Obama. Still people doubt whether it was Obama or not. That is another kind of Brahman. Yeah? And not Osama, yes. Osama bin Laden. So what I am saying is there is a problem of wrong knowledge. The human cognitive processes are such. You need not always have right knowledge. And when we have wrong knowledge, and especially it touches your fear zones, cortices in the brain, then you will act. and you will regret later. So here, one should have a clear understanding of what is true and what is false. That clear understanding. To give you that understanding, Krishna uses two words, two terms. Satya and Asat. Satya means what is true. Asat means what is false. True and false. That is one set of words. So we want to know what is true and what is false. Then he uses another set of words, bhavam and abhavam. Bhavam means bhavadi, appear, appearance. Abhavam means disappearance or absence. So Krishna says, truth will never disappear or become absent. Truth will exist in all the three periods of time. That's the definition of truth. Truth is that which exists in all three periods of time. It will never disappear. It will never die. It will be there all the three periods of time. And untruth is that which will never appear. Truth will never disappear. Untruth will never appear. So, can you give some example for this truth and untruth? Truth is which will never disappear. Is there anything which will never disappear? Can think about that. Anything which disappears is not truth. Anything which changes cannot be truth. And truth has never disappear, and untruth will never appear. Asataha bhavam na vidyade. Asataha means untruth. Bhavam means appearance. Asataha bhavam na vidyade. Untruth can never appear. Sataha bhavam na vidyade. And truth can never disappear. So can you identify truth anywhere with this definition? Can you identify untruth? Because untruth will never appear. So how do you identify untruth? How do you identify truth? Keep these two definitions in mind. Truth will never disappear. That means it is always there. Untruth will never appear because it is never there. The only example for untruth I can give is, I can think of is a square circle. Can you ever draw a square circle? Because the definition of circle is which is not square. So with these two definitions, that my search is for truth. Because I defined the truth as God, truth as that, truth as this. Our search is for truth. And truth is that which will never disappear. So when we look at the objects in the world, for example, this table, is it true or false? A very difficult question, isn't it? This table, is it true or false? It cannot be true. Why? Because it will disappear. It will disappear, isn't it? After 200 years it will disappear. So this cannot be. And not only that, it appeared sometime. It was not there 200 years before. It shall not be there after 200 years. So can you call this table, this form of the table, truth? No. You cannot call it. Can you call it false? Because false definition is which will never appear. But it appears, I can see that. So because it appears, it is not untrue. Because it disappears, it is not true. And bring this analysis to understand all other things. Your body, is it true or false? Because it disappears, changes and disappears, it is not true. But because it is experienced, it appears, it has to be, you cannot say it is false. So all the objects that falls in the ken of your experience, meaning the entire content of your consciousness, can neither be called true or false. Some people blindly say the world is false, which is not the Vedanta position. Vedanta says the world cannot be categorized as either true or false. Sad asadbhyam anirvachaniya. It can never be categorized, anirvachaniyam. It can never be categorized or defined as either true, sad, or asad, false. That is the nature of the world. And that nature of the world is indicated by a special term called mithya. Mithya means that which can not be categorized as true or false. And this mithya refers to everything that you experience, both your material experience and mental experience. All these can be brought under the category of mithya. So there are three categories now: true, false, neither true or false. Which is called mithya. But the mithya, the world, which is neither true or false, which appears and disappears, gives us some clue about something beyond. Because this mithya prapancham, the world, is object of our experience. The scientist will never see truth in the objective world because it's constantly changing. So the mithya prapancham, the world, gives us a clue about something beyond. Because it appears and disappears. Question, where does it appear? Where does it disappear? What does it depend upon? Therefore, Shankaracharya, the great Advaita exponent, in a very insightful sentence says, Mithyayaha, for the mithya, it has to depend upon something. Mithya, this world which appears and disappears, has to come from something. Mithyayaha satyabhekshatu masti. Since it is coming from somewhere and going back to somewhere, it has to depend upon some truth. Because for untruth, nothing can appear. It is coming, appearing from some truth. Mithyayaha satyabhekshatu masti. This mithya prapancham has to depend upon some truth. So our inquiry is, what is that truth from which everything comes? So it can be an objective or it can be subjective. Where everything comes from. That's the truth we are searching for. So first of all, let us understand these three categories: truth, true, false, neither true or false. It's a category. It's not something which is both true and false. No. It's neither true and false. It cannot be called true or false. That's the nature of the world. So we have to search for the truth. And how do we do that? So Krishna defines his understanding of truth here. Nasado vidyade bhavaha, na bhavo vidyade sagaha, ubayoho api drishtaha antaha tu anayoho tattvadarshibhi. Tattvadarshi means those who know the truth. Tattvam janadi iti tattvadarshi. Those who know the truth. So there are some people who know the truth. They say, they understand that asadaha bhavam na vidyade. Untruth cannot appear. Sadaha bhavam na vidyade. Truth cannot disappear. And ubayoho anayoho antaha drishtaha tattvadarshibhi. People of truth, who have seen the truth, they understand the boundary between truth and untruth. And the relationship between truth and untruth. Antaha means the boundary, the defining line. Ubhayoho anayoho, sataha sato, sata sato. Boundary. They know what is truth. They know what is untruth. They know what is neither truth and untruth. The world cannot be called truth or untruth. Why it cannot be called untruth? Because it appears. Why it cannot be called truth? Because it disappears. Nothing is permanently existing in this world. So you have to reflect on that. I think we will stop here. And this is a very profound sloka, which you need a lot of reflection. So whatever you see, experience from today onwards, ask this question: is it true or untrue? Or neither true or untrue? That's what you have to ask. Is it true or untrue? So you will come to a conclusion: the world is neither true or untrue, but depends upon a truth. That's what we are. So we'll take up the rest of the slokas next time. So thank you very much.
Swami, what is time?
Time? Time, according to Bhagavad Gita, time is a thought. Time depends upon thinking.